It's there! Holy moly, this one's going to go big.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. We're going to do Crazy Fruits for this video, or as it's also known, is Crazy Fruits emulated? Because Crazy Fruits was kind of an internet meme back in the days before internet memes were even really a thing. In the early days of the scene, back in the Fruit Forums days, I'm talking 2001, 2002, we had a steady stream of new members there who, shall we say politely, were of the younger persuasion, asking if they could play Crazy Fruit in this swizzy new Fruit Machine emulator that they had downloaded, and the answer was no. Crazy Fruit runs on the Scorpion 4 hardware. It is not emulated. You cannot play Crazy Fruits. Please go back to Fruit Emu. There was a slight division at this time on the Fruit Machine emulation scene. Fruit Emu there, the site is actually still online. It's still there and it still works. And the Fruit Forums crowd used to think that this was the place where these teenagers who would, I'm talking like 12, 13, 14 years old, who would come along to Fruit Forums and ask if they could play Crazy Fruit, and there was a feeling that this was perhaps more their natural habitat. It's still there. I mean, the site all still works. It's looking a little bit, shall we say, not particularly looked after at the moment. We've got girls in your town, no selfie, anonymous sex dating, women's in your city, girls in your city, and so on. So, whilst the site is still there and it still functions, I'm not entirely sure how well looked after it is these days. All these notifications on the homepage are from like 10 years or more ago. So quite what the current scenario is with Fruit Emu, I don't know. But this was one of the first sort of big Fruit Machine emulation sites that really tried to do a one-size-fits-all in terms of downloads and galleries and forums all under one roof, as it were. And there have been some, dare I say, political issues between the various Fruit Machine emulation sites over the years, which don't particularly belong in this video, so we'll draw a respectful veil over that. But that was the meme over at Fruit Forums in, like I say, 2001, 2002, of people who would sometimes come over from Fruit Emu as well and ask if Crazy Fruits was emulated. Even through the initial releases of MFME, when MPU 3.4 changed into MFME, Scorpion 4 was not a technology that was added. The first release of MFME added the Mega M1 AB tech, followed by in MFME V2, we got Impact, MPS, Scorpion 1 and 2, System 5, System 1 and System 80, and then in MFME V3 that added Procon and Space, but Scorpion 4 and MPU 5 were kept off the table. There was a lot of talk about it being implemented in a work in progress sort of sense in private builds of the emulator, but they were not the builds of MFME that Wizard released publicly, partly for the reason that they were still current techs. In 2001, when MPU 3.4 came out, the MPU 4 tech was still a thing. You still had companies rebuilding into MPU 4. Barcrest had moved on to MPU 5 by that time, but the tech was still actively being used by rebuild companies, and there were huge numbers of MPU 4 machines still out there in the wild. So Scorpion 4 and MPU 5 were felt to be a little bit dodgy in that regard, because you were butting right up against current technologies. And remember, we did have Barcrest taking an active interest. I've covered that in the History of Fruit Machine emulation video, which is also already on the channel, where Barcrest pretty much just sent a cease and desist to Wizard, which is like, stop selling that emulator with our copyrighted ROMs and artwork and stuff in there. which is when the emulator essentially went to freeware and all of the layouts and the ROMs were debundled. And Wizard made that very, very strict edict that the emulator was never to be bundled together with any layouts or ROMs, and that is something that is maintained to this day at Desert Island Fruits. The emulator stands aside and by itself from anything that can be construed as somebody else's intellectual property. Now, the first time that Crazy Fruits was emulated was a little bit of a dodgy one, so let me just fire up MFME v9.4 here. Here you can see. And there are the dates. Can you see? 1997 to 2004. Now, this was a release of the emulator. Well, I say release. This was a version of the emulator that was never supposed to be released. This was a private build that through various machinations ended up in the public domain. And this version of the emulator had, can you see all of those texts? This is essentially a sort of internal development / private build of the emulator that Wizard had shared with a small number of people, and it found its way out into the wild. And can you see there, we have Scorpion 4 in there and MPU 5. These were not technologies that had been included in the publicly released builds of the emulator, but this was a pretty seismic event in terms of Fruit Machine emulation, because this was the first time that 99.9% of people involved with Fruit Machine emulation had ever seen these two technologies available to be run. And one of the things that was put into this version of the emulator was the first running layout of Crazy Fruits. Now you can see here, it's actually got some little glitches on the display. It doesn't display the pound symbol properly. This was a known issue with this build of the emulator, but it does run Crazy Fruits and you can play Crazy Fruits. See there, it does the symbol, the pound symbol, wrong, but there you go. That's Crazy Fruits running in the emulator. Now it was a little bit glitchy, this version of the emulator. It wasn't intended for public consumption. It was still a work in progress. There were little glitches like that where it doesn't display some of the characters properly. There were also quite a large number of Scorpion 4 machines that it simply didn't run A at all, or B, you had to run them in door open mode because it wasn't doing the doors and the hopper properly. So you essentially had to play it in demo mode. MPU 5 was a bit hit and miss as well. Some machines didn't run at all, like red MPU 5 machines did not run at all in this build of the emulator because the protection hadn't been cracked fully by Chris at that point. And other MPU 5 machines had various glitches as well. So this was not the full thing. It was a whole... It was a bit of a grotty scenario all round, really. It wasn't the best of times in some regards for Fruit Machine emulation. This Wizard himself was not happy because this build was never supposed to get out into the public, but frankly the desire among people to play these machines in the emulator was so strong that layouts were still made for it. They were passed around, they were available, and people did play them because this was incredibly exciting. The ability to play two entire new technologies from an emulation perspective, Scorpion 4 and MPU 5, was too enticing to pass up, and we had a pretty wide number of layouts that were released for it, including this DX for Crazy Fruits, which is basically fully playable. This works okay in this version of the emulator. However, moving on from that and into the present day, starting in November 2016, we then had the new era of Fruit Machine emulation when Wizard released MFME v5.1, which added new techs like M1AB video, MPU4 video, Phoenix, and also, notably, official support for Scorpion 4, MPU5, and also Scorpion 5. You've got to remember that by 2016, Scorpion 4 wasn't the tech hot potato that it had been in 2001, 2, 3, 4. We're fast forwarding over a decade. By 2016, Scorpion 4 and MPU 5 at that point, very much legacy techs, and we even had Scorpion 5 officially implemented in the public build of the emulator, and that then allowed what you can see in front of you here to be created, which are the current versions of Crazy Fruits that we have running in the emulator. So this machine has had quite a long history in the Fruit Machine emulation scene. That's why I've done all that waffle there. It's gone from being the unobtainium of the early days of Fruit Machine emulation. If you were around on Fruit forums at that time, you'll know what I'm talking about. It became like an in-house meme that we would constantly have people coming up asking if Crazy Fruits was emulated, and it wasn't. We then had that slightly dodgy period where it was emulated, albeit with some glitches, via that unofficial leaked version of the emulator. And then, starting in 2016, we've got the official public release, which implements fully sorted Scorpion 4 emulation, because that's the other thing that had happened in those intervening years, because Wizard was always tinkering with MFME, always improving it. We now have like super bang-on emulation of the Scorpion 4 tech, which opened up a great many machines to play. It also fixed the earlier issues with hopper problems and coin mechs and all that stuff. Basically, pretty much anything that was ever built on the Scorpion 4 tech runs fine in these versions of the emulator, starting with MFME v5.1. And reflective of the real machine, there are quite a few different flavours of Crazy Fruits to choose from. The one that sent all of those younger people over to Fruit forums back in the day was the £5 version. This was the archetypal seaside kiddie fruit machine. Crazy Fruits on a £5 jackpot on either 5p or 10p play. That was the one that these 13 and 14-year-olds were coming to Fruit forums asking for, because you would be hard pushed to find in the early 2000s any arcade that had £5 machines on site. Seaside arcades, fairground arcades, bowling alleys, wherever it may have been. If they had £5 jackpot fruit machines, you could have a pretty big bet on there being at least one Crazy Fruits there set to the £5 jackpot. Now, that wasn't how it started. We do have a flyer here for the original release. This is where it started, was as a £10 jackpot, 25p play, all cash machine. Remember, we are into the all cash era now, on the £10 jackpot, released by BFM in 1998. There is the original flyer. As I've said before, the original flyer is brilliant because that always gives you the starting point for the stake and prize combination, and that was where BFM launched that. However, this machine had a very, very long tail on it in machines that have been converted down to £5 or QPS £5 rebuilds. That's what we can see here. It also came in various cabinets as well. It started life in the Smiley 1 cabinet. There was an Eclipse cab version at some point as well, which you can see here. It also got an upgrade to £25. You can see here there's a QPS green version of Crazy Fruits running up with a £25 jackpot on the right hand side. We've got the Smiley Cab green version on a £5 jackpot on the left hand side. In the middle, we've got the Eclipse Cab £5 version, And the one that we're going to be looking at in this video is what I think is the best, which is basically that one there. The original Crazy Fruits Red running with a £10 jackpot on 25p play. Ignore the decal there at the top for the £15 jackpot. What I have done on this, because Tommy C released this with the £15 jackpot, what I have done is actually loaded in the ROMs from the old leaked version of the emulator and that layout there, loaded in those ROMs into this layout, which are £10 ROMs, and I'm running this now with the £10 ROMs. I think that is by far and away the best stake and prize combination to play this on. Get it on the £10 jackpot, 25p a go, you've got a really good AWP. The £5 version kind of sits alone because that's a slightly different proposition and it's aimed at a different market. But of the big boy stakes, I think the £10 version is best. The £15 jackpot, it kind of just does what you'd expect, really. It spaces the jackpots out more. It doesn't really seem to increase the streak amount, because as we're hopefully going to be able to see on this can do a pretty big streak on the £10 jackpot. All the £15 jackpot seems to do is reduce the number of jackpots that you get as part of the streak. So if anything, it makes it less exciting. And the £25 jackpot version has even more of that going on, which it just really makes the machine lopsided. You've got to remember, it was designed for that. It was not designed for what we can see on the right-hand side there. Exactly the same machine, the same layout, the same features, the same everything basically. But instead, we've got a £25 jackpot sitting at the top of the win plan there. And it doesn't make it a particularly pleasant machine to play, in my opinion. So what we're going to be focusing on here is the £10 jackpot version. Now, I do appreciate that's a lot of waffle before I've even started playing the machine, but I think this machine warrants it. It also dates back to that time, like 25 years ago, when the situation with fruit machines was very, very different to how it is today. We've talked about this extensively over at Desert Island Fruits or the Fruit Machine Emulation forums. There's a lot of stuff on my channel about it, where we've gone from that situation in the 1990s, even into the early 2000s, when fruit machines were just kind of everywhere. They were a far more common sight in the UK, anywhere and everywhere, to where we are now, which is very much not the case. We have far fewer pubs, we have far fewer arcades. Many sites that used to have fruit machines don't have them anymore. They've disappeared from all kinds of different places. And of course, physical fruit machines aren't a thing anymore. There's nobody left making them, apart from, I believe, there's a couple of niches in the low-tech sector and that sort of thing. But the days of high-tech fruit machines being everywhere have gone. And Crazy Fruits was one that straddled the two kind of domains of fruit machines. It was a big hit in the sort of adult market, the pub and adult section of the arcades on the big jackpot, and it was also a massive hit in, let's call it what it was, the child gambling section of the market with that £5 jackpot version. Now, this is a machine that I remember playing myself. I remember it from its original pub run, when it turned up on the £10 jackpot. I've sort of got it in my head that it stuck around in the pub on the £15 jackpot as well. I don't have any strong memories of it in either direction, of any particularly bad or good experiences, just of it being a decent machine that I wouldn't be too upset to find in the pub. When this would have been in the pubs, it would have been the back end of my Clueless era, so it wasn't a machine that I had anything on, and I would usually play it just like a bit of a casual numpty, but it is capable of giving you a decent game in that space, particularly on the £10 jackpot, which is arguably the last kind of jackpot level that would still fall into the AWP category. We've had that debate over the years. You know, where would you draw a line in the sand where these things stopped being AWPs? You could make a case that it was before the £10 all cash jackpot, but certainly some remnants of those great old AWPs of the 480 and the £6 era were still present on the £10 jackpot. So I've got some vague memories of playing it on the pubs of the Isle of Man back in its current day, as it were, in its heyday, but also it was in the arcades here. Both of the arcades that were still operating in Douglas by the early 2000s had a Crazy Fruits. One of them definitely had it, and I think it had more than one on the £5 jackpot, and I have it in my head that the other one had it stuck around on the £15 jackpot, and it was one that I was happy enough to play from time to time. It's a decent machine. One of the things that this really has going for it is the tremendous Scorpion 4 technology, and whoever designed and coded this game and did the sound and music package for it, because to give BFM their credit here, right across the tech stack, if you will, on this, Scorpion 4 is a fantastic technology. When it's used properly, it's capable of presenting really slick playing, very smooth, very, dare I say, aesthetically pleasing games. They feel nice to interact with. And the other thing it's capable of is some really good stuff with the sound, and it's been properly utilised here. I have talked about this in the bloody Red Hot Ibiza video on the channel, where I waxed lyrical about the sound hardware that Scorpion 4 had, including genuine stereo, not fake stereo like Meigay were punting on their M1AB machines, which just had 2 mono speakers. The Scorpion 4 hardware of this era was capable of doing genuine stereo, which Crazy Fruits uses, and it can also layer samples over each other, so it can play multiple samples at the same time, which is used to quite good effect on Crazy Fruits. The other thing it can do is pitch shifting. If you go through the sample banks on this, what you will find is what you hear when you're playing the game as multiple different samples are actually the same one sample that the hardware itself is pitch shifting. Kind of like playing different notes on a piano, or if you think about those early, the Casio synthesizers and keyboards that you could get in the late 80s and early 1990s, where you could record a little sample into them, a little scratchy sample through a microphone, and then you could play it back at different pitches on the keyboard. The Scorpion 4 hardware can do that, and that's used to great effect as well. One of the obvious ones is when you get a win on the reels, it goes juice, juice, juice. If you go through the sample banks on this, there's only one juice sample in the entire sample bank in the ROM, and what the machine does is shift pitch it to create those 3 different sounds, and it does that with multiple samples in the machine. It's a nice clever little trick. It's only a little thing, but it's part of the overall package of a really slick playing, great sounding machine. So you really wanted to be playing this where it had some volume to it. It's a little bit of a crime to have a Crazy Fruits that is mute, because part of the fun on this is the sound and music package. It does look great, it sounds great, and it's lovely to play as well, which kind of elevates the whole thing. Now, what I've done here is I've got this one in the middle here, Crazy Fruits Red, the original release, running on a £10 jackpot. I have got this with a streak pot ready. My long-term stats on this, I haven't put a massive amount through, it's only about 650 quid. But I've got it to a place where we should have a streak pot ready to go. It might play silly buggers with us, but there should be a streak ready to go on this. So we will get into the gameplay now. There's going to be time codes in the video for people who just want to skip all that stuff at the start, but I thought to myself, if we're going to do Crazy Fruits for the channel, I should give the historical context, not only just in the sense of Fruit Machine emulation, but for the machine itself, because this was a big game. I'd hate to use the I word, but if we were going to use the word iconic for a fruit machine, this would be one of the few fruit machines that's ever been made by any company in the history of the entire fruit machine industry. I think you could make a reasonable case for calling Crazy Fruits an iconic fruit machine. It was kind of that big back in the day, which is partly evidenced by the fact that it had so many different versions and rebuilds, multiple cabs, QPS versions, all the way from £5 jackpots up to £25 jackpots, and lots of offshoots as well. I'm not going to go into the other ones. We had Crazy Fruits Down Under, there was Casino Crazy Fruits, there's a Club Crazy Fruits, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to go into all of that stuff. That may have to be something for another day, but this is just focusing on the original Crazy Fruits machine and all the offshoots of that. But with that said, let's actually start playing it. Right, so here we go. Playing the one in the middle. Let's get a fiver in and take it from there. We should have really good sample pack on this. It just doesn't miss this one on the sound and music pack. Can we get in? Can we get in? Oh, in we go. I'm just going to let this, listen to it overlay the samples over the main music.
That gets my heart pumping.
And you can see there, oh, you can hear, but rather it's doing the stereo panning as well. It's really using those stereo speakers. It's really using the capability that the hardware has. I know I give the fruit machine industry a lot of shit, and quite frankly, I stand by my criticisms, but just felt rude talking over the top of it there. But yeah, credit where it's due. Everyone who was involved with this at BFM, the design of the tech and implementation of the tech, putting this game together, they understood the brief and they absolutely nailed it. Oh, there we go. Let's just see if we... Oh, no. Now, I have done a couple of test runs at this. It may play... Oh, no. Oh, that should have gone quicker there. It may play Silly Buggers. Oh, right, okay. I don't think there was over a 4 there, was there? It might play Silly Buggers to start with, but there should be a streak pot in this. But I haven't had incredibly consistent results with how it does it in my test runs. Oh, it's the Tutti Frutti full. Now, we can't collect Tutti Frutti there. We've got to land on the feature square. We've also got the banana available from the nudges. Now, the banana, it's kind of like a barcode feature. It's not necessarily a jackpot by any stretch of the imagination. We can get let's collect the Tutti Frutti, but do be warned, this can bin you off with a fiver. So it always seems to give at least a fiver, but whether or not it'll carry on past that, we'll have to wait and see. There we are. So there's our gimme, and it can stop there. Ah, that's a shame. Now, that's not too bad on this because it's half a jackpot. It feels a lot worse when it does it on the £15 jackpot ROMs, when you're taking the top feature and you're getting a third of a jackpot. You can kind of think of Tutti Frutti as a like £5/10 repeater, and sometimes it'll just give you a fiver. So let's just... Now, the streak probably won't be there right from the off. So let's just collect that fiver out. So that was 5 in for 5 out, wasn't it? So let's go in again with another fiver. Is that going to go in? Sometimes it doesn't go over 8. And it didn't. Oh, see there, it did like a semi-secret hold on the 4 numbers. In we go. Oh! I don't know a huge amount about this machine in terms of how to play it or what officially the good signs were. I always took... Well, that's not really going to help as much, is it? I always took that big feature pot boost as being a good sign. You will kind of know a dead feature entry on this when you see it, because it'll be like a pound across the board. Now, if we collect there, it will only give us Nudge Frenzy. You see there, it goes up to Tutti Frutti. Once you carry on past the feature square, now we have to land on feature again to collect Tutti Frutti. It does have an invincible board, and I'm hoping that we'll get to see the invincible board here and the full streak. If it completely messes me around, we can go back to the RAM+GAM file again and get the streaks. It actually has a pretty solid streak in it, and for a £10 jackpot machine, it's quite a powerful streak as well. There's Tutti Frutti again. What do you reckon? No, let's push on it. It will kill us though if it wants to. Didn't kill us there. See there, it's trying to give us Tutti Frutti, isn't it? Oh! Also, I know I keep banging on about the sound, but over the jackpot tune there, I'll shut up next time I get a jackpot as well, and what you will see is it will layer different samples over the jackpot tune, so the jackpot ditty, as it were, can sound loads of different ways depending on which second sample it wants to overlay over the top of them. Now, I don't think that's the streak there. The streak pot should be coming. It isn't just a streak or bust machine, this, by the way. You can... Oh, there we are. Is that 1, 2... Yeah, now listen to this juice, juice, juice when I nudge this in.
Juice, juice, juice.
Now, there's only one juice sample in the sample pack. That's doing that pitch shift thing there to give the... So that's a really clever way of like, maximising space in the samples, because you can get multiple samples, effectively, out of just one single sample in the ROM bank. What do you think? Oh, there we go. Got it that time. The problem with the jackpot at the top of the middle win plan here... There is the it's a lovely invincible board sample, isn't it? So the problem with the jackpot at the top there is it's not a repeater. What you need to do is fill in the ladder or the matrix there. Now it should... See there how it's layering the invincible sample over the feature board again? Really well done, this. I do doff my cap to whoever at BFM put this one together. And indeed a lot of these here are Scorpion 4 machines. They did a great job. So it should just nudge us towards the jack... What? We're just missing one symbol now. We're missing a bell. It should go for the bell. Should go for the bell now. There we go. Now can we get... Oh, there should be more. There should be more in this. We should have the full street pot ready to go. As I was just saying before, it has a reasonably balanced profile. It isn't just a streak or bust machine. What I've seen it do is it can just do a lone jackpot by itself. Sometimes it'll just do a jackpot and a repeat. You know, for like a little £20 payout, something like that. But it can do a big, proper, full streak as well. So we haven't had that yet. I think this should have more to pay out. And then what we'll do is, once we've got the full streak pot out of it, we'll have a look at the session stats. Because there should be, as long as it's not been a complete arsehole... Oh, it's used the killer tomato there. There should be a full streak in this. It's playing pretty nicely, as you can see. What you will also see, I'll carry on playing. Once we've had the streak pot out of it, I'll carry on playing it for a little bit, and you'll see what those dead boards can be like. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not magic. When it doesn't want to pay out, it can just play like a little bit of a dick, which is kind of par for the course. for any compensated fruit machine. It's already given us £6 on the cash stack there. Ooh, I think we've only had £25 out. We've put £13 in and had £25 out up to now. So we haven't had, for my money, we haven't had the street pot at this point. Depending on how it wants to do it. I've done a few test runs at this. Sometimes it really holds on for the first jackpot, and then it'll bring in the street pot a little bit later. It's jackpotted quite early on this one. So I'm not entirely sure how that's going to affect the street pot coming out. See there, we've got a nice little... If you press your little bell fruit man button, he'll kind of do the cheat for you. See, excellent use of those samples there again. I'm not wildly impressed with these feature entries. Oh, so press your Mr. Bellfruit and there you go. It'll go into like a no-lose bonus type thing instead of your usual mystery. This should be tipping over into... This should have a few more jackpots in it. This shuffle is a little bit of... See there, it will just give you whatever it wants to on those. We've got... No, see there, it's not quite tipping over into the jackpot. We'll keep going. And I do want to see that, so we'll get the street pot out of it. Well, we'll do that, and then we can... Oh, you can have a go at banking the nudge there as well, if you want. Oh, right. Oh, was it right? Was 5? Yes, it was. There we go. A little bit like Holy Grail on Indiana Jones, that, isn't it? No, these are not fantastic feature entries, are they? That's a big feature boost there. When it's in a bad mood with you, see there, it will just add up one. Oh, we could collect another Tutti Frutti. Shall we have a Tutti Frutti? Go on. Let's see if we can get it to do a jackpot. We only got a 5 first time. But you need to be aware, this is not a jackpot feature. I haven't seen it do less than a 5. You always seem to get at least a 5 off it. Any chance? Oh, see, just a 5 again. Okay, we'll carry on. What I will do is collect the bank out so that... Oh, there we go. So that when we get the hopeful street pot, we can get a nice big bank when we get to the street pot. It shouldn't be... Oh, no. Oh, there we are. As long as you get in, that's the main thing. Shouldn't be a million miles away. It does like to go in on an invincible board and then dole out a few repeats. So we'll do that. Bosh, 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 bosh. Oh, so it's filled up quite a bit there. Nudge Frenzy is available. There we are. What I want to do here really is get the jackpot repeater off the ladder or the matrix there. And get in on a... Oh dear. Getting on a jackpot repeater. See, we've got Tutti Frutti available again. What I might do at this point... We've seen Tutti Frutti a couple of times. You've seen how it can just be a 5. Now, you know what? I'm going to push on now. I'm going to push on for the jackpot. Oh, what are we missing down at the bottom there? See, there's Tutti Frutti. It is prepared. There we are. Any more for any more? Oh! Come on, come on. Oh! Right, now, I think... Well, that was all right. I think it should have a little bit more in it. Can we get a bit more out of it? Let's see if we can get back in. What I've found on my test runs is it can do a couple of shit boards, but then it'll give you another jackpot board or a Tutti Frutti board, so we don't want to give up straight away. Invincible, maybe? No. I don't want to get too greedy, but I think this should have some more in it. Come on. There's these keys. I mean, fine. They can mug you off, though, a bit if you want to. I will take a Tutti Frutti if it's offered at this point. Oh, dear. No. So we've got the banana. Shall we have a banana? The problem with the banana is it's... Let's do the... There we are. They're not necessarily amazing, these banana bonuses. You know what? This would be better if I knew what the good ones were. Oh, no, I pressed the bloody... Oh! Oh, this feels like you should... Oh, come on. Oh, come on, you pisser. Oh, the... Go up! Fucking... Oh! Oh, no! Hurry up! You fucking don't, you... Ah! No! Oh, bollocks! Come on!
Uh-oh, I love you.
Fuck me. Oh, it's £4, is it? It's not going above. Oh. Oh, there you go. £7. You know what? I've never had that, but you see there, right, I see. Sorry, you know what? I've actually never collected that before. Full disclosure, I've never collected that one before. That's quite good, isn't it? So you actually, oh. Doesn't matter, we've got a win there. Oh no, I say it doesn't matter. We've got a gamble at least. Oh, there we are, that's handy. See there, we've got a no-lose gamble. Let's just exchange him. There doesn't seem any benefit to risking that gamble. Oh, now that's a bit of a dicky feature entry. That lineup is pretty good. I think I would probably take that again. I thought it... I thought it just gave you the best one. But since it adds up all the ones that you can get together, that's actually, well, probably one of the more... The other couple that I've taken were not that great, frankly. That seems to be one of the better ones. So if we can take the banana feature again and get the slowdown, that could actually be alright. Come on. Oh yeah, we can get back in. That's fine. I just feel like there should be a bit more in this. Okay. What do you reckon? Shall we just see if we can get... I might actually go, you know. See if we can... Oh, it hasn't filled up. I was hoping it would fill the features up there and gives a chance at a Tutti Frutti. I think this has another jackpot in it. Oh, that's some nice... Ooh, see, we got £6 there. Just... Oh, no, 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 no! Yeah, I think there's a bit more in the tank, isn't there? And oh, that's going to time out, yeah. They're not being great, though, are they, those bloody chooser trails? I've never been wildly convinced by 3 holds on this. It does work, but... doesn't seem... Ooh, just having a little bit of a dead patch. Come on, put us in. Come on. Any more for any more. Oh, now that, see there, that's a Boggo feature entry, innit? And it was prepared to give us £6, wasn't it? Oh, these boards have been... Now, I have seen it do this, though, and then it'll just come back in. So we'll persevere. These boards... I mean, if it does more than... I don't know, maybe 3 boards and he's still being a pig, maybe not, but... Obviously, if you're putting in... You know, if you're putting a tenner back in to get one more £10 jackpot, that's... not really profit, is it? Oh, dear. Those bonuses are being piggy, aren't they? Giving us wins, though. We haven't got a no-lose gamble, and it mugged us off for it. We'll persevere. Carry on with it. Yeah. Oh, come on. You can see here now, though, when it's playing nasty, I mean, for all the fan-dabby-dozy design and all the rest of it, when it's playing like a pig, it's still just a pig, really. Okay, it's put us in. Where is that last jackpot or two? I'm not liking these feature entries. What's that? Well, that was a reasonable boost on the features. Assuming that that is the decent sign that I always took it as. Because when it wants to, it'll just crawl up those features one at a time. Fruit shoot. Another not wildly inspiring one. One more bell for a jackpot. Doesn't look like it's going to do it, does it? Come on. Oh, it's not quite filling those features up either, is it? Oh, what? I don't know what golden shot is. Shall we have a go at golden shot? I'm going to try golden shot. Oh, I see. Oh. 7, 9. Oh, shit! I was too slow. Oh, man, I just missed 9 quid. Oh, that was terrible. I was fucking hell. Old man reflexes there. Well, that was embarrassing, wasn't it? Fucking 9 quid there, and I fucked it. Oh dear. You know what? I'm quite annoyed in the emulator with pretend money. I'd be very annoyed. Because when you're playing down from a jackpot repeater, you don't want to be missing things like that, do you? Will it give me some clemency on that? And let me sort of get away with it and pay it back? Oh dear. Well, that could prove to be a painful mistake, couldn't it? Not pleased with myself there, so I'm down now. I'm quite a bit down from where I should be. I'm going to end up playing it round to another fucking natural... See there, the feature just crawling up one at a time. Sort of feel like I've not covered myself in glory here. Now it's using the killer tomato. I've had better than this. There was nothing there, was there? I've had better than this in my test runs. There's part of me is almost tempted to go back to the... because I have got the RAM+GAM saved out, so we can have another go, but... It's just done so much better than this. You know, skill shot is not... There we are. It's very missable in my experience, skill shot on this. No, it's just gone off, hasn't it? It's just really gone off. Yeah. I mean, that doesn't really help us. I'll give it this board. And then we'll... But this is not... I mean, I've got... How much have I got in the bank? 32 quid or something. Oh no, if that has me... I mean, it doesn't really matter, does it? Okay, we'll play off the 39 quid in the bank. Okay. No, I just thought I'd stop it at the top, at least get the 8. Yeah. Not happy with this one. I think, you know what, oh, go on, one last fucking... Okay. Maybe it'll bless me with an invincible. Oh, it's a big feature ad. Well, big-ish. Oh, if this mugs me off, you know what I am. I'm going to go back to the RAM+GAM. If this mugs me off again, we're going to go back and have another go. Because it does appear to have deadied up, done it. And I'd like to see the big one that I know it's capable of. Very interesting, though. It always... Oh, it still slightly surprises me. how much variation there can be just from the same RAM and GAM file. In fact, let's just bring it down and you can see there. We'll wait for that to finish adding up. I mean, it's not a disaster. £38 up. You see there, 69 quid out for £31 in. I think better is possible from that RAM and GAM file. I'm going to go back and do it again. Right, here we go. Let's just get cracking and see if we can get a better result than that. It wasn't terrible, but this just feels... That actually seems to be locked in as the start from that RAM and GAM file. They very quickly branch off into different directions, but... Oh! You know what I'm going to do this time? Is I'm not going to collect those fucking Tutti Fruttis and just do like an absolute straight force. I'm not going to collect anything. We'll just go straight for the jackpot repeater and see if we can get out that full streak pot. I'm not sure those £5 Tutti Fruttis really help. See, there we are. And it does, you can sometimes get to the point where it'll keep landing on the features. It's like, no, I want you to take this. I want you to take this. We're not going to do it. Oh! 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 Well, that was quick, wasn't it? Oh! From exactly the same RAM and GAM. Fucking hell! Identical starting spot. Oh, fucking me! What? Well, any more? Fucking hell, £50 right on the nose. Just goes to show, doesn't it? That is the same starting point as the other one. And on this one here, it's just gone straight in on a £50 repeater. So there we go. And that's also part of the problem with how the jackpots get bigger and don't really help, because the £15 can just do a 45, but you're not getting as many jackpot repeats. It's not as exciting. You know, you can pay. I think this might have a little bit more in it as well. Just, oh, there's a fucking, there's a banana there. How greedy do I want to get here? Go on, just another couple of, oh, fork. Doesn't really, oh, maybe I should have kept them, I don't know. I think it might have another jack. I'll take a Tutti Frutti. Oh! Oh!
My heart's pumping.
Fucking hell. Well, let's just collect. This is all action compared to the other one, isn't it? It's always remained slightly fascinating to me that this huge variance that you can get in how a machine plays from an identical starting point. Any more for any more? Any more? Final invincible, maybe? That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Oh, that's your basic entry. Oh. I mean, I'll give it 2 or 3 boards, but I mean, God almighty. Oh, there you go, yeah. That was a shit base level board. I mean, this is very, very nice. It's almost into the category of if you went into a pub with a pint and that happened, on the one hand, you'd be like, woo, I'm up, I fucking just want to pack it. But also, it's like, you almost feel slightly cheated that you didn't get your session on the fruit machine. I remember feeling that sometimes. If you got a super, super easy win, and you were kind of like mentally, you'd settled yourself in for a couple of beers and a session on the fruity. I mean, obviously you'd move on to the next pub or whatever, but there was also something satisfying about getting involved in a little bit of a tussle and coming out on top. Not that you would ever complain about that result, but, ooh, there was something about the noble combat with a fruity that was always quite... I don't want to put too much of this back in. Yeah, like you know, oh, there we go. Like you'd had a big scrap and you won. Now, I think I quite like that lineup, you know. Can I get that? I think that lineup's pretty good.
Uh-oh, I love.
Fuck me. So you can miss it. Oh my god. Oh, there you are. £9. There you go. You can't get nothing. I wonder what happens if you fuck it twice. There you go. That's basically a jackpot. That lineup, it seems to be a pretty powerful one. I think I'll take Graphic Explosion and one of the others. They were a bit shit, to be honest. Any more for any more. Any more.
Yes.
Good lord, this is a streak, isn't it? Well, let's just go for it. I haven't got any credits in. I'll put another £1 in. This is the thing here, though. When a £10 jackpot machine can do a streak like this, why do you need bigger jackpots? They just didn't get it, did they? You kind of, from the £4.80 streaker era, that the fucking hidden treasures, they never really needed the bigger jackpots. Bosh, bosh, bosh.
Wow.
Fucking hell. Oh, I wasn't. That could be a finish off with an invincible there. But now, of course, before the £10 jackpot, fuck me, they're going to be some nice stats. But yeah, before the £10 jackpot, you could argue you had the whole token thing going on and all the rest of it. But now that you're on with Crazy Fruits here on the £10 cash jackpot, when they're capable of doing that, what is the point of bigger jackpots? And it's the increase in the price of play as much as anything as well. That's a basic entry, by the way. You know, where you're asking for 30p a go and 50p a go and £1 a go, when you can just do this on 25p a go with a £10 jackpot. And that is so much more exciting than getting... I'm not going to be a million miles off taking £100 out of this here. And so much more exciting than fucking just forcing a betcom for a flat 100. What do we want to go for here? Let's just see if it'll give me a little boost on the features. It won't. Not sure that was the best choice there. I'm not feeling wildly optimistic about this one. I have seen it finish off, by the way, a couple of times with an invincible board, so... yeah, it's not doing much here, is it? See here, what it can do is it can move you around the board a few times and just not really fill anything in of significance. Oh, I haven't actually got anything in the bank, so I can just tell you now. In fact, I'll see there. Let's just go to profit and loss. So there you go. I am £9 in for £79 out, which in terms of RTP is 877%. But that is a straight £70 cash profit on a £10 jackpot fruit machine. I mean, you'd say that's it, which I'll just play on for one more board. That's the other thing with this. Your board costs, even when it's dead, there we are usually fairly reasonable. Just in case. It's got... Oh, there's a big feature fill. God, blah. I'll take it. Oh, fuck me. Let's have it. Let's have a Tutti Frutti. This is more profit, you know. Even a £5 here, this will be more profit. Hey, this is a crazy bloody pay, this, isn't it? I wouldn't... For all of my fucking... Oh, look at that. It's gone on as well. You wouldn't want to be coming up... Oh, that's a weird amount, isn't it? £7. You would not want to be walking up to this next, would you? I thought I'd try a nudge bank there, see if we can go. Oh, there we can. I'll not risk the gamble. Oh, no, I mean... So we've won a bit more there. I'll play it until I get a dead kind of £1, £2 board. And then we'll call it. I'm glad we had that there, though, because that was like a very, very different proposition to how it played the first time round, wasn't it? Oh, let's just see. Oh, I think that was the best, wasn't it? Yeah, 4 on the end there. I mean, at this moment, see there, I'm 73 quid up. I think if this was the real world, I would walk with that. What a result. £73 cash profit on a £10 jackpot fruit machine. For the video, we'll just push on for one more board, but I would have walked there. Let's see if that would have been the right choice or not. Let's just see if that would have been the correct decision. If we can... Oh! Well, would I have left something behind? Surely it can't have much more in it. Okay, well that's just our exchange amount, isn't it? Oh, there's the keys, right, okay. Let's see. That did not improve our situation, did it? That was a very... very well-engineered keys, shall we say. They just didn't... Much sound and fury signifying nothing. Oh, we got them again. Let's see if they do something a bit better this time. Oh, we've only got 1 symbol remaining there for the bloody... We've got 5 shots. It doesn't feel like it's going to do a jackpot, does it? It feels like it's going to kill me if I carry on. Oh, I mean, 5 shots. I'd have a banana, but there's no banana on. Oh, pick of the crop. I really do feel like I'm pushing it here. Shit, this... I'm asking... oh, go on, Mel. It can't really make it much worse, can it? Oh, 5 are on there. It's going to have me, innit? Ah! Was it Golden Shot that was pretty... It was Golden Shot that was pretty good, wasn't it? I want to collect Golden Shot. Oh, I fucked it up. Oh, it hasn't given me the slowdown. Oh, there... okay. Okay, well, you know what? I should have just carried on there. Well, that was just kind of... I think that was money back for that board, wasn't it? No, a little bit better. See there? £75 up. And just for the record, by the way, this is not on a mad percentage. This is set to 80%. So not a crackers one. I mean, 78 was common in the pubs around here. So I haven't got that on some stupid kind of percentage. But what I managed to do there was a combination of autoplay and doing it myself. I just got it into a spot where it was ready to do a repeatable streak pot, albeit with slightly suspect ordering of it. You saw there the first time through, it really didn't want to know, but then, it was kind of there and there was profit in it, but I was, 30 odd quid up on the first run. On the second run, I've come out, 70 odd pounds up, which is £75 profit compared to 30 odd pounds profit from exactly the same RAM+GAM file. I'm wondering if taking those Tutti Fruttis the first time round were not the way to go. I mean, God knows, maybe all you did on these was just force them. Just force them out for a jackpot repeater. Their time in mainstream pubs on the £10 jackpot. Remember, they came out on the £10 and they stuck around a little bit on the £15. That was before the point at which I first got a clue on how to play and was forcing things, which I started with the Barcrest forcibles. I don't know, maybe that was the thing you did on these. You just bloody well force them because that went off its tits there, didn't it? Anyway, that'll do us for this. This is going to be quite a long video, but you know what? Crazy Fruits arguably deserves it. I think where I was in my head on this is if you're going to do Crazy Fruits, we may as well have a proper wibble on about it, and then people are free to watch as much or as little of the video as you want to, of course. It's a machine that's got a long history in fruit machine emulation, made a big impact on the pubs, arguably in some ways more the arcades, the explosion of this thing into the £5 space. This was kind of the inverted commas £5 machine for quite a long time. and it still holds up. That Scorpion 4 tech now, which it came out in what, 98? I don't know when the first Scorpion 4 machine was, but it would have been around here, 98, 97. This is nearly a 30-year-old tech now, but you can see it can still deliver the goods. This can still deliver a really fast, playable, great sounding, super slick gameplay experience. Also, of course, thanks to Wizard's work on the emulator over the years, so you genuinely get the feel and the sound, that stereo sound with all them samples and pitch shifting going on, that the real machine delivered as well. That's all faithfully emulated as well. It all comes together in a great package. This is a lovely, lovely machine to play. You can see there I was getting quite into it for this video. It's been a fun one to get ready for this video, dicking around with the machine, getting that street pot ready. And many, many times that I was playing it on the prep for this video, I was like, it's a fucking good machine, this one. BFM actually did a cracking job on this one. So like I say, full respect to everyone who was involved with making this machine, artwork, sound, Scorpion 4 hardware design, coding the game, the whole shooting match. Good job, folks, because this is, dare I say, let's call it what it is. Let's call it an all-time great. And somebody over at Desert Island Fruits was mentioning what happened to your Hall of Fame thing, Degsy. And I put the list up on Desert Island Fruits of the machines that were in the Hall of Fame. You know what? Let's do it. Crazy Fruits should go in the Fruit Machine Hall of Fame as well. I think it deserves that spot. So there you go. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed this rather long video, and I'll catch up with you next time. But for now it is goodbye.
That gets my heart pumping.